Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Football FANattic. I'm FANattic football fan Ben, and I'm here to talk about, obviously, the weekend we just had. Again, more controversy, more terrible decisions from, of course, referees in the Premier League and, of course, VAR. It has been a weekend I think a lot of supporters would like to say, I want to forget it. And I would like to really ask this question. With referees, they obviously people say they have a hard job, but unfortunately I was a referee myself. I know exactly what it's like. But I will tell you it's not that hard. But the situation of it is, the question I'm going to put out to people here, why isn't nothing done with these referees? We have week after week problems with referees' decisions. They could cost in team points. They are going to cost maybe somebody their job at the end of the day. And it just seems to be, oh, well, that's not a problem. We'll just carry on. We're just going to do a game next week. Howard Webb will call people up on Monday and say, sorry, the referee you had was a terrible referee. I think this is a bit of a joke now. And so many years now we've had VAR in the Premier League. Surely now they should really be able to come up with the best solution to things. I mean, I do 100% agree where they should have an ex-player sitting within the VAR. Obviously, somebody who's totally impartial, not been involved with either side in that game. That would be a great situation. I also think they should also have an independent timekeeper now at football, because it's becoming a bit of a farce, really, on how much is added on. It just seems to be, as people are saying, you know, some teams are getting 10, 12 minutes to score a goal. Other teams are only getting 2 or 3, and they're not getting a chance to score a goal. So there is a lot of things that I feel that need to be worked on, but I'm just going to discuss a few little points on what's happened on the weekend just gone by with VAR. Very unfortunately, I don't have anybody with me today. Somebody was going to be with me, but they obviously last minute had to pull out. Very sorry about that, guys. But if you have any questions, you have anything you want to add to this, please feel free to do so. Please message and tell me what you think about the decisions as well. I mean, you may not agree with my decision. I 100% appreciate that. It's all a matter of opinions with you, with me, everybody else. But the way I look at it like this, as a football fan, I pay money to go and watch football. I want to have my value for money. I want to be entertained. And to be honest with you, these guys, they have so many laws in football, they don't seem to know what half of them are. And it is really becoming a joke. Now, the first game I'm going to talk about is Brentford-Manchester United. Happened on Saturday afternoon at the G-Tech. Referee was Craig Pawson, and the assistant, the VAR was Andy Madley. And I just think this, if you've seen the incident, unfortunately, I can't show you the actual incident, but if you've seen the incident, it's a clear and obvious decision. It's 1, a penalty. 2, it's a red card. Collins pulled back and Mbeumo in the penalty area. He's through on goal. All he has to do is just touch this ball. It's going to go into the goal. But somehow, the referee had to ask questions about it. VAR didn't have a clue what they were going to do about it. In the end, Collins receives a yellow card, and the verdict is, yellow card because Mbeumo didn't actually have control of the ball. Well, if your arm's being pulled right back, how can you control the ball? You can't get near the ball to control the ball. I mean, I think that terminology of what they've come out with on that one is a total and utter joke. Really is a total and utter joke. So now a player has to really touch the ball to prove a point. Well, I don't see how that happens myself, because to me, that was a red card. It was neither goal scoring opportunity. He was the last man in the penalty area. He has to walk, but he got a yellow card. And I've heard former referees come up with their opinion this week as well, and I don't buy it at all. It's a total and utter hash Total and utter idiotic refereeing decision. That was a red card, 100% red card, and it was a joke, total joke. But let's move on to the next one. Now, you thought that was a joke. This one had me as well. Chelsea versus Brighton, Saturday afternoon. Brighton won the game in the end, but there was a time in this game where Chelsea, were a bit under the cosh, it looked like, in the second half. Trevor Chalobah, from behind, stops the Brighton forward going to goal. He's just outside the penalty area. He puts his leg between the player and brings him down. Now, Trevor Chalobah, a few weeks ago, did the same thing in a game against Fulham, I remember. Went in from behind. The Fulham player stepped on his foot. The Fulham goal was then disallowed, saying this was a foul, which was, again, another total ridiculous decision. But they said this time the referee didn't even give anything. He waved it away. Now, how can you wave that away? Now, if there's any Brighton fans out there, I mean, you've probably been thinking the same as what I'm thinking here. It was a total joke. The last man through on goal, Chalobah has gone in behind him, gone through him, brought him down. No attempt for the ball. The referee, Simon Hooper, was the referee, and the VAR was Darren England, people would like to know. And they came up, first of all, with no foul. How is this no foul? Then VAR looked at the situation. They told Simon Hooper, come and have a look on the monitor. He went and looked on the monitor. They then changed the referee's decision and tell the referee it was. So in the end, it was a right decision. But on-field referee could not see that decision. He was the last man. The referee could not see that there was no one else there, and it's a goal-scoring opportunity. Again, I just don't believe this situation. And it was a total and utter joke. In the incident, also, we had another incident happen where Brighton should have had a penalty. It was a kick in the head by Gusto on Mete. It was a kick in the head. He didn't stoop his head so low to make it a dangerous play. He went down with his head, but it was at a height where the foot came right up to the face. Again, Simon Hooper said no penalty. VAR didn't even interfere with this to give a penalty. And it's a total farce. They just didn't want to give anything on that day. They wanted the game as it was on that day. I unfortunately, I see it as it is. I see the game fairly between two sides. It doesn't matter what team it is. That was a penalty. In my eyes, kick in the head, it should have been a penalty. But there you go. This is the refereeing we're getting in the Premier League. This is what we're having every week in the Premier League. Why are we having these much mistakes in the Premier League every week? It is wrong to have these sort of mistakes every week in the Premier League. We understand people are human. People do make mistakes. Everybody does in life. We all make mistakes on things. But when it's quickly in front of you and all you have is one job to make sure decisions are right in your game, surely get them right. I do not understand why decisions are not right in a game. That is totally baffling for me on that state. As I said, I was a former referee myself, and I'm not saying I never made any mistakes, because obviously we do. But these people are paid, they're professional, they are top of the game, and they cannot make any bones about what they do. They are paid very good money as well. And they make a lot of mistakes. Weekly, they are making mistakes. And I really do feel that something needs to be done about this now. we move on to a third game. The third game is Newcastle versus Arsenal. Now, again, referee was Jared Gillett. VAR, Darren England. Gyökeres, was it a penalty? Unfortunately, it wasn't. Referee Jared Gillett did give a penalty. But then VAR consulted and came up with the right decision, which was good to see, a right decision, that Nick Pope did get his foot to the ball before bringing down Gyökeres. So therefore, it was not a foul. So that a right decision was made. But it took a long time to get to that right decision. Why take so long? You just see it there. You see what happens. I can understand Jared Gillett because the flick of an eye, you can't see it in that quick motion. But VAR can slow it down, see what's going on. You have an assistant VAR as well sitting there, and they cannot take 4-5 minutes to make a decision right. And it is becoming a bit of a long time now. Supporters don't know what's going on. Arsenal fans and the gods at Newcastle were probably wondering what the hell's going on here. You know, is it a penalty? Is it not? Newcastle fans were thinking, what's going to happen? Are we going to get this turned around or not? Please feel free to tell me your comments. Any Arsenal fans out there, any Newcastle fans out there, give me your comments on what you think that was. Because I'm telling you now, that was not a penalty. Unfortunately, it did hit Nick Pope's foot. It did go off. But, again, there was an injustice later in the game. And I do have a picture to show you on this one. Now, for me, this was a handball. That is not a natural position for your arm. That is no way a natural position on your arm. So to me, that is a handball. Regardless what anybody says, what anybody thinks, my opinion is that is stopping the ball going forward to another player. So therefore, the arm in that position, to me, that's a handball. There's no two ways about that. VAR looked at this and they both came to the conclusion, no handball. Now, I would like to know why no handball with that. Because they're saying, oh, it was a natural position. Where can a player put his arms? Well, unfortunately, letter of the law implies if the arm is at a certain height or stopping and impeding a situation of a goal scoring opportunity or a opportunity of a goal to come by, therefore, it's a handball. Why was that not given as a handball? That is my question there. Please feel free to give me your questions on that one. You may think I'm wrong, but I think it was a handball. That's my position. So that says it for Newcastle versus Arsenal. Now, the last game, there was 2 incidents in this game. And this was Aston Villa versus Fulham on Sunday. And Andrew Madley was the referee. And Matt Donoghue was the VAR in this one. Now, firstly, we're talking about a yellow card to Fulham midfielder Josh King. He went through on goal. He took the ball one side of Emi Martinez. He then had his foot taken away by Emi Martinez. Now, people don't believe me this is true. Watch it yourself. Try and get the footage yourself and watch it. He clips Josh King's foot. Josh King goes over. Referee Andy Madley straight away said, yellow card to King for diving. Now, why didn't the VAR interfere on this? Show the situation. There was actual contact, so it was not a dive at all. So there should have been no yellow card given at all in that situation. But I feel they were running from the week before, where, again, Josh King was taken down in the penalty area by Jordan Henderson. And the referee that day, Michael Oliver, gave a yellow card for a dive. So I think in Andy Madley's mind, it was, oh, this player's a diver, that's a yellow card, which I think is wrong. You should see every game and every player firsthand. Regardless of the last game they dived in 3 times or whatever, that was the last game. You should have it fresh in your mind. But I know for a fact referees don't. They talk to each other before the game. They have a big instinct what certain players do and what certain players don't do. And I know this to be true. So at the end of the day, they already had it in their mind that Josh King was a diver. So therefore, that's how a yellow card came about. I'm totally, utterly bamboozled by it. Martinez did clip his foot, but again, there was nothing there to prove. VAR didn't even look at it. Just plastered it off. Oh, it's a yellow card. He dived. I don't believe that at all. I think that is a total thing. Then later in the game, again, another handball decision. Now, this handball decision, I've actually got a picture of it. I'm surprised, again, same as the one at Newcastle and Arsenal. Whereas this is handball. Whatever way you look at that, that player taking that shot is going to score a goal. So that is denying a goal scoring opportunity yet again. Now, I was led to believe, and maybe you guys are as well, that we have this wonderful thing with we want to see more goals in games. We want to see more attacking football. But they're disallowing things like this. They're not allowing people to score goals. They're saying, no, it wasn't a goal. You know, because it hit someone's arm. Clearly in that picture, you can see the arm being hit. And again, the question was, well, where's he supposed to put his arm? Well, where's the other player's arms? Down around their side. So therefore, his arm's not in a natural position to me. So his arm, again, has proved that's a penalty. That's, to me, a wrong decision. I just can't believe that referees and VAR are getting these decisions terribly wrong. I can understand a mistake. I can understand maybe not seeing something that way. But now we have video technology beyond all means now. We now have a system where if a referee doesn't know, they can tell that referee what he should know. We don't have that. We are having 2 different opinions on things. And it's becoming a real farce. I think what should be done now is Howard Webb grab these referees now and say, look, if you're going to keep making these mistakes, you ain't refereeing these big games. Because at the end of the day, they're going to cost somebody their job. They're going to cost something for someone else. You know, you think 60-odd thousand people go to watch a football match. Obviously, we all love our teams. We all support our teams. But there is a point where a right and wrong can happen. We know we watch our teams play. Players make mistakes. Managers make mistakes. Referees make mistakes. But referees shouldn't be making too many mistakes. That is my argument today. That is my point on everything. You have a technology to use it properly. Otherwise, don't have it at all. Because it's a waste of time having something and you still cannot get the right decision. It proves a lot of money has been used. It can be a waste, which we do not really need. Now, I'm one of these people, I wanted VAR in football. I wanted it because I thought it would improve the game. But I'm telling you now, there's a lot of people I know that have said to me, I've had enough of it. I don't want to go and watch football anymore. I don't enjoy it. Is that what people want now? Is that what the Premier League wants? I've heard they're knocking it down now to the Championship in a season or two's time. It's going to be another chaotic thing. You're going to get more problems. It's got to be nearly flawless before you can start branching things out to everybody. But unfortunately, that's the way it is. Well, that's my rant for today, everybody. And please feel free to comment back on any of them talking points that I've made. You know, you may think I'm totally wrong. I totally get that. You may think, you know, yeah, you're talking sense. I understand it. But please, you know, let me know all the way through. You know, do not just go, leave it. Please put a message up. I'll be very happy to read them. Thank you very much. I will be back next week, but maybe be doing something a bit different. We'll wait and see what goes and comes around. I mean, I'll be bringing the WSL back in again, as I spoke about that a few weeks ago. And that was a really, really good show we had about talking about the WSL. We will be doing that again. Also, I will be speaking to people about the EFL Championship, League One and League Two, and the non-league in weeks to come as well. So please, you know, feel free to join in them ones as well. Because I'm not just going to talk about the Premier League every week. I am going to be discussing about other divisions, other things in football as well. But today I just wanted to get them off my chest to talk about the Premier League mishaps over the weekend. I felt they were wrong. Do you? So this is me signing off. Take care, everybody. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy.